This is Krista. Welcome back to Made to Be Whole. Stay tuned for a conversation with a 16-year-old patient on his journey with mycotoxin illness, vector-borne infections, and other delightful infirmities.
Made to Be Whole is intended for informational purposes only. It's not intended to replace the advice or care of a licensed healthcare professional. Participating in this podcast does not constitute a provider-patient relationship with Krista Michener, AHP Integrative Health, or any of the guests featured on Made to Be Whole. Krista Michener, AHP Integrative Health, and any featured guests aren't responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from use of information obtained in this podcast or associated materials. Please consult a healthcare professional for any health-related concerns that you are experiencing.
Well, hello, Gideon. How are you?
Oh, you know me. I'm just thriving in life like I always am with all the funny bugs inside my body.
So, Gideon, full disclosure, is my youngest child, my favorite youngest child.
Let's go.
And he's going to tell us a little bit about his story and the perspective of having these afflictions and finding them as a kid and going through treatment, and a little bit about that journey. Now, I asked him this morning if he remembered life before he was sick, and he said no. Have you come up with anything since then, Gideon? Any
Well, I mean, like,
memories?
so life before I was, like, sick, I guess. But honestly, the thing is that I remember just always being kind of, like, messed up. Like, I remember crying a lot as a kid, always being, like, I remember even in, like, first grade, like, school was just really hard for me. I don't know. There was always something. I didn't feel well about something. I was a bit more anxious, a bit more emotional. And it just progressively got worse, so.
Yeah, you are an open, tender soul. You've always worn your emotions. When I noticed a big shift, I mean, part of it was the emotional piece, and we tried counseling, we tried medication, we tried all the standard stuff, and nobody quite knew what to do with Gideon, the school counselor, the other counselor, just people in general, because he does have the gift of being super articulate and being able to share how he feels, and he would have all these really intense emotions and physical feelings, but we didn't really have a label for them. We didn't understand the etiology of them. I remember one of the things that changed earlier on is just inability to find pleasure in things, which is considered a hallmark of depression, but it's just really unusual in someone this young. And we knew that it really ramped up, and I knew something extra was going on when that included relationships, being able to even enjoy being around cousins and other friends. And I knew there was something maybe similar going on with you and Daniel when I realized you had a huge downward slide when you moved to the basement. And I put it together and realized that had happened when he moved to the basement too. And you were both hanging out on the same old couch, which we got rid of. And we found mold in both of you. You both became like more fatigued. You both gained a lot of weight. You both just were much, much more run down. And I think it was the combination of like the mold itself, but also we know that mold exposure suppresses your immune system. So other underlying infections then have a chance to flare. Would you like to share with others which infections you have been diagnosed with and are being treated for?
So there's kind of like a lot. Like, that's the thing. You ask me, and it's like, at this point, I don't even know. You just, every other week, it seems like, hey, Gideon, you have this. And I'm like, cool, what do I do about it? I have Babesia, Bartonella, Lyme disease, mold disease. I think most of the mold is out of me, but I still might have some. My genetics are just really bad. Like, they're awful, actually. Very deficient in a lot of things. My body's very bad at detoxing. I don't know. Am I missing any key details?
I think those are pretty key. You do draw from the shallow end of the gene pool from both your father and I. I had mentioned previously that there is one gene that specifically affects your ability to detoxify from benzenes and some other environmental toxins that Dad and I both have one variant, one SNP or bad copy that reduces our ability to detoxify by 60 to 65%, but because Gideon cashed in and got the negative influence from both of us, he has up to 96 to 98% impairment in his ability to detoxify. And what was a little disappointing was doing some recent testing that shows that he's chock full of toxins, despite the fact that he's uber diligent in his detox efforts. So tell them about your sauna routine, your exercise, some of these things that you do routinely and do a great job of.
All right. So every morning I wake up, I eat, I take my medicine, let my stomach settle, and then apparently exercise can help with detoxing. I do 70 push-ups, and then I run on the treadmill for half an hour, and then I go in the sauna, and then I shower, and then at some point during the day I use this foot detox, foot bath. Not exactly sure what you would want to call it, but
it's an ionized foot bath. Yeah, but go ahead.
It seems to be working wonders. I feel like that's probably the most effective thing for detoxing that we've done so far, because my water is absolutely vulgar. It is disgusting. There's brown bubbles, there's black specks after everything is said and done. There's bits of green. It's so green it almost looks like teal or turquoise. And then once you start getting the water out of the into the toilet bowl, it looks like moldy green diarrhea water. It is bad, but that just means I'm getting stuff out of my body, and isn't that just so cool? That was inside me.
Well, it's interesting because Gideon and Daniel have this little fight about whose water looks
okay,
like
mostly
worst.
It's one-sided because Daniel feels like he needs to prove a point. I don't say anything when he's like, I'm still sicker than you, and it's like, what do you want from me? I don't know, okay?
So tell people one thing I think that you experience that's common to a lot of people in varying degrees is you have this routine you have for a long time. You like to exercise. What is your run on the treadmill like on good days, and what's it like on bad days?
Okay, so it's been so long since I've had a good day on the treadmill, but basically it's I don't want to die doing it. It's fine. There have been days where it's I'm actually getting that adrenaline and I'm really enjoying it, and when the music, because I wear headphones while on the treadmill, I'm really enjoying the music and I'm actually having fun. I want to run more, but most of the time it's miserable and I need to stop for every 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm just out of breath. I'm so tired. My legs hurt a lot. I feel weak, sometimes even lightheaded.
And I think it's important to point out because it's not a deconditioning thing. It's not because Gideon's out of shape or because Gideon is lazy. It's because, especially, I think Babesia is a huge part of this with the air hunger, the weakness, and then with Bartonella has caused some shin pain and some ankle pain too that sometimes complicate it. But I have to give him a lot of credit for keeping trying. And sometimes we have to do a little coaching, it's okay that you have to take a break. It would be a lot easier to just say, I'm not going to do this. But he still keeps at it. Kind of funny story about Gideon. So when you got sick, public school was not a good fit anymore. Do you want to expound on that a little?
I don't know. I never really enjoyed public school much at all. But once I got sicker, it's when you don't enjoy something in general, when the things you do enjoy, you don't even like anymore. The stuff you really don't enjoy is just terrible. I didn't really have any friends. I just felt awful. It was hard to focus or think or do any schoolwork. I felt very vulnerable at school. I wasn't really safe anywhere. I was just with a bunch of strangers, or I honestly, I wasn't even treated that well when I was crying or out of control, just feeling so awful, because it's what are they supposed to do? I can't necessarily blame them, but it's sometimes I remember one specific time I was just kind of shaking and crying. I just felt so out of it, and then the teacher, because I was in the classroom, just put me out in the hallway to just sit there, because it's I can't have you disrupting my students in the class, and so yeah, it was not great.
And it's hard because I know they don't have the resources to deal with everyone's stuff. But it doesn't mean that you didn't need things that weren't able to be provided there. And as far as like physically, at the point that we pulled Gideon out of school, there was one point at which he was in bed close to 20 hours a day. I mean, you would go to bed 6 o'clock at night. Am I remembering that right, Gideon?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I do. So he would eat dinner and then he was pretty much in bed. He was just done. So physically he was very, very limited. We tried homeschool for a while. That was an unmitigated disaster. I can't homeschool, but we live in this glorious time where there's a lot of online school options, and we found a public online school that has been pretty flexible. I have to give Gideon points for creativity, because with his particular school program, as long as you get all of your work done, then you just have to log 5 educational hours, and you have a lot of flexibility. So you can be reading, you can be exercising and counting it as PE. You can work and do work study. You can be watching educational videos. Well, Gideon was logging about 3 hours a day of physical education time, and come to find out that he was walking on the treadmill for 3 hours a day while playing video games. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, I
Gideon?
put that sucker on 2 miles an hour, like just a walk, and I just play. I would just hold the controller and I just walk for 3 hours straight.
Well, I give you points for creativity and honesty, because you were at least walking, and you did lose quite a bit of weight during that time, if I remember correctly.
That's probably true, I'd imagine.
Okay. Point being, though, it's taken a lot of adaptation, of expectations, and it has continued to evolve. So at this point, we're at an interesting crossroads where, objectively, I can look and see things that are improved. I can see that he's not in bed 20 hours a day, that he is able to do more, that he's completed his schoolwork, even though sometimes it's difficult, but there's still this feeling of kind of emotional and physical and mental exhaustion that we're just not there yet. Can you describe that a little bit, Gideon?
So I'm like tired all the time, no matter what I do, no matter how much sleep I get, no matter when I go to bed. I am just so tired, like all the time. My body just like feels like, sometimes I just feel weak for no reason. Like I feel heavy, even if I hadn't done any intense exercise or anything that day. I just like it's exhausting to like move. I feel so weak. Like, I feel like if I tried to do any physical activity at that point in time, that I just wouldn't be able to do it. That I'd just, like, crumple and just land on the floor and die. I don't know. I just don't really enjoy anything. Like, I'm at a point where I have moments, but after starting this newer medicine to really get stuff out of me, I'll do something for, like, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then I'm like, because I'm trying to find something to enjoy. It's like, I don't know, like, I guess maybe I'm kind of having fun. Well, I don't really know. So I go to do something else, and then it keeps going, like, switching back and forth, just trying to find something, anything. There are moments where it's better. It's not like that all the time, but there was a period of time where it was like that for most days. And occasionally, like rarely, I'll get like a little high, but that lasts for like 20 minutes at most. Yesterday, I was playing this game I really liked, and I was at this really good part of the game, and I'm like, I remember why I love this game so much, and like I'm having so much fun, and this game is so awesome. Oh my gosh, like and then I stopped to go do something upstairs really quick for like 2 minutes, and then I came back, and I'm like, I don't really want to play this game anymore. This is like, I'm not really having that much fun anymore. What else? I'm sweaty. Very sweaty, very hot. It's very uncomfortable.
He's definitely been affected by that with the heat intolerance and the hyperhidrosis, we call it, with Babesia, which is that excessive sweating. I mean, there are times you can feel the heat coming off of him. And in retrospect, this is something that was happening even when he was really young. We would go on car rides, and he was 2 to 5 years old, I think, in this window. But if we were going on any sort of long road trip, he would be hysterical because he would be telling us that his butt was hot. My butt is hot, my butt is hot, my butt is hot. And he was so physically uncomfortable. And I also think it's interesting because with that heat, you'd think the sauna would be the worst place to be. But it seems to me at times when I see you getting really red and hot, when you get in the sauna, you're actually better when you come out. Am I observing that correctly?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Look, you asked me, but it's been a long time since I haven't been in the sauna consistently.
It makes a difference. I will say, as an observer and as the mother, there have been times where he started to get agitated, and he's right. At this point, it doesn't happen as much because he's so good at doing things consistently. But I would say you need to go in and do it. He would come off. He wouldn't be as hot, and he would be calmer. And when he would first use the sauna, now I'm not around you when you do it most of the time now, but I remember the first time he did it, I sat there and he got out. It looked like he had just got out of a swimming pool. I mean, stuff was pouring off of him. I have to be in there for a long time before I even start sweating, but he just, I mean, it's gushing. Is it still that way?
I just sweat an unnatural amount, no matter what I do. I was in a car ride with father one time, and we were in your car, so the leather seats, and it was very hot, no air conditioning. We just went to Pulp, like 5 minutes away, and we came, like, and once we got into Pulp, I felt Dad's back, nothing. I touched my back, it was covered in sweat. It was, like, drenched. It was like a rag. I could have grabbed that thing and twisted it, and sweat would have poured out of it.
So,
also,
go ahead.
I don't know, back to the point where it's like, oh, what are you still struggling with nowadays, blah, 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 because I felt I was put on the spot. Okay, I couldn't articulate. I couldn't think of everything. It's like, wait, what is wrong with my life? Another thing, I just get so agitated for no reason, like all the time. Like it's not always very outward, but like sometimes someone will do something that is like the most mild-mannered annoyance. Like, oh, they made like a loud noise, or they asked a question that was kind of like, you should know that. And I just get so unbelievably angry. For no reason. And I know I shouldn't be angry. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why? Why am I so mad? And the sensory thing, like, there are certain, like, sounds and noises I just can't handle being around when I'm, like, not feeling well. Like, chewing. And, like, people chewing with their mouth open especially. Which a lot of my siblings will vouch that they do not do that. But it is, in fact, accurate. They do that. They chew. With like, so guys, I'm chewing with my mouth closed, okay? No. What they do is like they chew, but they keep smacking their lips, so it's like, and it's so agitating. Oh my god.
So, little educational piece. There's two technical words for that. So one of them is hyperacusis, auditory hyperacusis, when sounds are much louder to someone than they are to other people, but then specifically when someone has oral sounds that are really disturbing, especially chewing, lip smacking, that sort of thing, that's called misophonia. And I think it's a big challenge in figuring out, as someone who's bothered by this and as family, how to manage it. Because certainly we don't want Gideon to be going crazy all the time. And some nights we tell him at dinner, just leave, just go. We can tell this is too much, or he'll go eat somewhere else. And I think it's a tricky balance, having respect for what's bothering someone and trying to accommodate people, but then also as someone who's afflicted, I think your self-awareness, knowing, okay, I'm becoming unreasonably upset at this. How I feel is real, but I know this is out of proportion. Like, I know that people should be allowed to eat. How do I try to navigate both sides of this to not be super bothered by everything, but also knowing I might need a little more space because certain noise is just really plucking at my nervous system. So here's a big question that I think anyone could fairly ask. If you feel so bad, why do you still keep doing all these crazy things that your parents ask you to do?
I don't know. Sometimes, like, I guess it's just because I know that even though it doesn't feel that way, there has been some sort of difference over these couple of years. While things are still really bad in some areas, things have improved. And I think part of that is I've just gotten older and I know how to deal with things more. But also part of that is that I have gotten more stuff out of me. And I can see like some of the stuff, like it's obviously doing something. Like with the foot bath, that's one of the most obvious things. It's like, look at all of that. Like that's not normal. It must be doing something. Or like with all the medicine I have to take like 50, 60 pills a day. I have to take a lot, and a lot of liquid medicines, like the funny yellow paint medicine. No one likes the funny yellow paint medicine. That stuff tastes like crap. And then recently I have a new one where it's like it literally burns like my tongue. It's disgusting.
That would be cryptolepis, right?
Yeah,
the herb.
I take it though because it's like honestly, why not? Like, oh no, I'm minorly inconvenienced. I have to put stuff in my mouth and swallow it. Like, if it's gonna make me feel better or do anything, like, why not just do it? And like I've done it so much at this point that it's really not an inconvenience. It's just, oh, it's that time of day, let me go take my medicine, let me go do this. But something that I've struggled with is that I've been feeling bad for a long time, and we've been doing treatment and we found more stuff as we've gone along, added things, but I've been doing treatment for almost 3 years, and sometimes just it feels like I'm fighting 4.
Yeah.
I thought we started when I was 14.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's been 4 years, but carry on. Maybe it was 3.
Right.
Anyway, a long time.
Yeah, kind of rude. But okay, before I was rudely interrupted. But sometimes it just kind of feels like I'm fighting a losing battle. Like no matter what I do, no matter like how much I do it, it's never enough, and that I'm just not enough, and I'm never really gonna feel better because I've been doing this for such a long time. And it's always been like, oh, you have this. Wait, actually, no, you have this. Okay, we're going to do this, and it's going to make you feel so much better. Actually, like, it's just going back and forth, running circles, and it's kind of, like, it's been disheartening at times, and it's just kind of been, like, made me question, like, am I just the problem? Like, is it just something I'm doing wrong? That all of these things, it's not because I'm sick, but it's because I'm pathetic and because I'm lazy, because I don't have any determination to do anything, and I'm just hopeless. And, like, I don't know.
I think that's really hard because I know that's something you've struggled with, Daniel's struggled with, I've struggled with that at times. When you're somebody who does like to take accountability and fix things, and when you see things not going right, it's really easy to self-doubt and self-blame and say, like, well, I must be doing something wrong to feel this way, when there's a lot of objective evidence that that's not true, but you just want things to be different, and you're working too hard to feel as bad as you are. You're putting in a tremendous amount of effort, and that's why we just keep looking for other pieces of the puzzle. We know, I mean, I truly believed and hoped when we first found the infections that we just treat this Babesia and everything's going to be hunky-dory. We take care of Bartonella and things are going to be better. And they've helped, but then we've come to realize, like you said, there's more. There are the genes that impair the detoxification. There are just a lot of other issues that are having to be addressed simultaneously. But I am really proud of you for sticking with it, because I know it's difficult, it's lonely, it's isolating, but as you've also said, what's the alternative? It's not great either. So if you were talking to another young person, another teenager who is dealing with this, what sort of advice would you give?
This sucks. Your life sucks. Get over it. But other than that, well, I mean, honestly, that's kind of, it's hard. It's hard, and you're going not going to be able to do nearly as much as you want to do, but it's either that or you're not going to be able to do that much and not feel great for the rest of your entire life as it grows and spreads. And it's especially really frustrating because I'm aware that even though I have a lot of time ahead of me, I'm not saying I'm old. Like, people who are, like, in their 20s and, like, my life is almost over, I'm so old, agitate me so much, because it's like you have so much life ahead of you. But I'm kind of in a certain stage in my life where I don't have much responsibility, but I'm going to be turning 17 in less than a month, and then 18, and then I'm reaching the age sooner rather than later where I won't have as much free time and flexibility to do much. I'll soon have a bunch of responsibilities. I'll be living on my own. Hopefully I'll get married and have kids, which will be wonderful. But again, I won't have as just much freedom. I won't be able to, like, stay up till, like, 12 a.m. playing, like, I don't know, freaking Glover and, like, eating, like, ice cream or something. or I won't be able to try all these things that seem so exciting. Like, oh, I want to try out doing this and that, and like, I'm kind of giving up my youth, or this time that I have that I won't really ever have again until I'm probably in retirement, and that's sad. It's scary. It's disheartening, and I don't know. It just sucks seeing everyone around me, around my age, or just I feel like they're doing so much more than I am, and they are so much more, and they're accomplishing so much, and they're doing like everything that I want to do, and they're so talented, and they seem like they're having so much fun doing things, and not everyone's life is perfect, but it seems unfair because like I don't like, did I do anything wrong? Like, it doesn't feel like that. I was just born this way, and like I don't get to have that, and that's frustrating. But I'm still blessed in a lot of ways. I have family, I have friends, I have people who care about me. And even though it's hard, things have gotten better, and things will continue to get better. And even though, like, people who may be going through the same thing, I'm just kind of like an exception, whereas, like, there's no Hail Mary for me, or like, oh, it's this, it's that. It's usually, for a lot of people who have this stuff, there is that one pill or that one thing that really does make a big difference, and it's a lot easier. I'm just a bit, like, more tricksy. But it'll be okay.
I think you're amazing. And I love you and appreciate you, and it's really hard watching your kids suffer. It's not obviously what I would choose for any of my children, but I think the things that you're able to learn from this, if you allow yourself, they've already made you a more compassionate, wise person. How has it affected your experience, for better or worse, having family that's going through this at the same time?
Honestly, the biggest problem is, like, when you don't feel good, you don't necessarily want to be around a bunch of people who also, like, don't feel good. And it's like, you're driving me crazy because of your noise, and you're driving me crazy because of your noise. Or just people, like, when you are starting, like, you have a moment where you're feeling kind of okay, it's like, oh, maybe today's going to be great. It's not really a great feeling when everyone around you is like, I'm going to kill myself. I literally hate my life. I feel so terrible right now. And it's like, okay, like, there's at least one person in the house at all times who, like, feels terrible. Or, like, you want to talk to your parents, like, have my, like, evening therapy session about the same stuff. Mom, Dad, am I a terrible person? No. Am I, like, actually sick? Or am I just really lazy and pathetic? No. Am I ugly? No. But, like, all the siblings are lined up, or sometimes mom and dad are sick. It's like, hey, Mom, Dad, like, can I do something with you? I need to lay down right now. It's 7 o'clock, though. I'm so tired. And they're in bed, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, I'll talk to you later. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's true. So it's interesting because Gideon tends to crash emotionally in the evening. Like, we really see that kind of, and I am pretty good in the mornings at this point. I was just delighting talking to my husband about how hard it used to be to get out of bed, but I roll out of bed at 6. I'm good. And then after dinner, I don't have a lot to give physically and mentally. And that's when Gideon has the highest need. He's right. And Daniel's, like, not a morning person at all. And night times when he wants to talk and wants help with school. Thankfully, your dad usually does better at night than you do, but it is kind of a comedy of errors.
Well, sometimes, like, I'll be, like, trying to play a game with him or something. He's like, Dad, you want to play a game? He's like, yeah, sure. And then, like, 20 minutes in, and he's like, I'm so tired. I need to go lay down. On Sundays especially, I get so mad when we're playing a game together. And then, like, he's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, have you taken your Sunday nap? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. Go freaking do that.
So we can have some
Yes,
fun.
what
so
the
we can
heck?
have some fun. Well, the good news is that your story is not over.
Oh.
Even though these chapters
I'd kind of hope it wouldn't be over, because that mean I'd be dead, but...
Well, right, but
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
mean
like-
your healing journey.
Ah,
there's
yeah.
more.
Well, I
There's
actually kind of wish that'd be over. Actually, I feel like fortunately it would be over, so I wouldn't have to heal anymore. I feel like, am I just your guinea pig? Is that what this is? You just need me to be as sick as possible to poke and prod. Use the
No,
cutting
I
edge
just mean it's
stuff.
not over in that it's going to be better than this. If it were over and ended the way things are right now, that would be better than nothing.
I
But
don't know.
we don't give up. We
I
don't give
sense
up.
some sinister intentions.
Yeah, I love spending all my time and money
Oh yeah,
plotting to
better believe it. Spending like all the money you ever earn on pills.
Yeah, it's a treat.
Oh, buddy.
But I love you. Thank you
I
for
love you
sharing
too.
your story. I appreciate it. Hopefully, it will be a boost to others, especially other young people going through this, and maybe other parents who don't understand what their kid's going through, to hear that perspective, but to know there is something real and physiological going on, and the mind and the body follow each other. And I know very, very well when we have these downturns emotionally that it's because something is askew with the body, but that there is always hope and always healing, and that what we're becoming through this process is something far greater than we would be without our problems to shape us. And so remember to always have hope, because you were made to be whole.
Have a podcast question or suggestion? Text or call us on the podcast info line at 330-439-0686. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to be notified when new episodes release. And remember, you were made to be whole.